Hey everyone, welcome to the MatMadik PCA channel, and I'm very happy to catch you today. This off chance, as we're still building the networks behind the scenes to finally get some real exposure and growth. Thank you for those of you who've been sticking around the recent uploads with me and Gamer Dan talking about gaming news, Switch 2, and of course, we should do a bit later today. The excuse me, the Microsoft Muse AI for gaming model that's being made, which thankfully I hear is not being well received. Nothing against Microsoft, but it's the idea of AI in gaming taking away that human touch. Not for it, but again, that'll be on a later video. Please come by. We'd really appreciate the support. All right, so what we got today? I've got to jump on a Tom MacDonald release, and despite the ups and downs, peaks and troughs of my uh, journey, a few other personal challenges and so on, interrupted my consistent stream as a reactor. And I want to get that dealt with so we can get things sorted out and get everybody what they're looking for. So let's get the ball rolling. Thanks for coming by today again. Let's see what's going to be with Tom McDonald. I got to say, um, in the wake of uh, Trump coming back in town, the song Daddy's on. Um, oh dear. Anyway, you don't want to call another dude daddy, but hey, hey, it's nothing wrong in calling somebody whatever the title that they've earned is. But let's just get down to business. With Tom McDonald being the one sane guy who is the guy I always react to, he's worth listening to. His raps are so clear, punchy, and get to the point, and and so on. With him being the one sane guy in the land of the crazy, standing out for simply being um, reasonable and sensible, and so on. When you get um, when you get people like Trump, or somebody like Trump in particular, coming back and bringing normalcy back to the world and being normalized in the process, as he did this what's the word called again? There's a word. Dismantles. That's the word. Dismantles the deep state apparatus of Mockingbird Media against him and everything. Gets rid of the taxes, goes back to tariffs, like in the great days that MAGA is striving for. Is Tom still going to be that revolutionary voice? When normalcy is returned, or will he just be seen as a guy we thank for his contributions up to this point? Well, one thing I got a feeling of is that he won't want to put down the pen, a bit like Eminem, who should just go away already. Anyway, without further ado, let's go.
There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you to spend it.
I just love the way he just says things that wrap up the whole situation in uh, one punchy way that just gets to the point. That's hilarious. You're alone so you can take your home. It's like there's another rapper I love called Kate Tempest, who now goes under the name of K Tempest. Well, last I heard of her, at least, despite the pronouns. God bless Kate Tempest. Anyway, one of my favorite songs of hers is in a song called, I think it's Prometheus, in her first album, Sound of Rum. Anyway, the line is, these people are commuters on trains with computers for brains. Get the wages, pay their rent, buy their food with the change. And I was like, oh, that's a bar. And it's so summarized. The whole system in such an impactful, punchy way. And Tom McDonald does that in a grander scale. She's really underrated and not very known. But I'm still a fan of her, always will be. But from the UK. But Tom McDonald again has done this on a much grander scale. Met the president, blown up, and he gets straight to the point with these statements. This one thing I love about white rappers, if you will. Sometimes, despite all what people, black hip hop fans can say in the name of criticizing them for having a different rhythmic cadence that doesn't really feel like you sound a black rapper, and so on. Sometimes when they just got a point to make, they just say it in a much more punchy way that is even more memorable or its message than the way it's delivered. And Tom MacDonald, yeah, he's one of the fathers of that. The man in the suit in the news lying to you, the banker, he's got their eyes on your money for their to get them to keep on keeping their pockets, and he'll be saying they again, hey, whatever. And then you got the people metaphorically represented here uh, through what he's got with his jungle gym looking like nooses, if you will. um, a set of gallows, if you will. No, not gallows. Yeah, it's a gallows. With again sheep walking under them, while he talks about the sheeple who line up to get their medicine that actually cripples them. Yo, no, nobody says it like Tom.
In your life online, those are searching for truth, but controls what you find will be fine.
Yeah,
You'll
again.
buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Those are searching for truth, but controls what you find will be fine, babe.
So again, he's talking all these things like it's like bait, like the worm in the lake that we used to fish with. It looks like food for the fish, but it actually makes food of the fish when we catch them and pull them out with the hook that the worm is attached to. It's pretty sad, on that end, but that's nature, isn't it? We all seem to capitalize on another's downfall in some way or shape or form. Even if we think we don't, we think we just honestly do our work, go to the store, buy our food, buy our meat that we have no idea how it's prepared, the age of the meat, the gender of the meat. Despite all the care we have for the young and women and children in society, you have no idea if you're eating that baby girl animal that was forcefully created. Uh, Most likely, yes, and etc. etc. Yeah, it seems to be the way of the world. The whole fight for being awakened rather than woke these days is just that we take responsibility for the world that we're in. Not that we made the world per se, but that we see that this that you're living in, it's not even a situation where we have to um, try and justify our actions in the name of virtue signaling and being moral, but rather we are, um, excuse me, we're face having to face this world and decide excuse me, just what we want to contribute to it or contribute um, to end up with a fair deal, not the deal. I'm prepared to um, have affected on me what I would like to have affect through me. You said live by the sword, die by the sword. But the trick is when you are being, um, I mean, that's the thing. If I own animals on the farm and I know that they know that they're going to get killed for food, ideally I would like to make it as humane as possible, but you want to give them as much freedom as possible in the process. Ideally, I like the idea of hunting, and animals that can hunt can also be hunted. That's it's the nature of the world. And sorry if I'm just going off on this thing, but Tom McDonald gets me thinking sometimes. And the main point I was trying to bring about with all these comparisons between the cruelty of the animal world and the cruelty of the world that we seem to be victims to of is that it's just the way it is. But we but as long as we can advocate for every living things, knowing what they're involved in and what they have to do to try and survive it. But if you lose the game, you're fair game. That actually brings about more harmony. What happens is if you don't do that, just as we are people are being more and more deceived to borrow useless money while Fort Knox may be raided. We've been raided already. You end up with a situation that's so corrupt that the the profiteers of the whole system will eventually run out of other people's money, as Margaret Thatcher would put it, and it will just all implode. All because we weren't fighting on an even playing field. It's a bit like Rush Hour 2, that Red Dragon metaphor. People have been feeding their gods with people with they gain so much outside of a cave. In this case, the red dragon being the god. Um, so much so that so much so that the wealth that's being guarded is inaccessible because the god has gotten so fat and big and powerful that they don't want they can't let you get what they're guarding anymore. It's greed, just begets greed. So sorry people for going off on that tangent. That was the most random rambling I've done in a while, but I'm just gonna let the song play and I'm gonna give my next comment maybe at the end or halfway through. So I'll stop rambling. Anyway, let's go.
If we don't make it through, there's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly. It's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money, they want power, don't want no one else allowed. We'll be fine, babe. I'll be the man for you.
Last thing I'll say is that the difference between God and the ego. You know, as anyone, if those of you that know about Scientology and Dianetics, the the teachings of Dianetics are there's something very appealing about the idea of the meaning of life. What's the point of life? It's to survive. Every living creature knows, every living organism knows it. Whatever it's there to do is to survive, not simply just get by, but to survive at the highest level, so that you are comfortable, that you feel that you're fulfilled in all aspects of your concerns. Um, the problem with that is it's still based on scarcity. God is the entity, one entity that doesn't need to worry about survival ever. It doesn't. It's not trying to survive. God's not trying to survive. It's the love, the engine of love, and when you live for that reason, based on something that is fulfilled yet is still magnanimous and loves to give, um, you don't have to say to yourself, "Hey, I'm going to do what I got to do to get by." Because once you say to yourself, "Survival is what it's all about," little by little, you descend into being a willing participant in the Squid Games, committing all sorts of atrocities just to get by, in the name of "I got to survive." It's my mission. Your mission is to spread love, man. And if you're not doing that, you will spread scarcity, and it will erode whatever treasure you're hoarding. So, as Tom MacDonald saying about the man in the sky, namely God in him, as he's describing, um, belongs the source of your strength is beyond the hand of the flesh that will fail you, but beyond the moon. Despite what rockets are made, it's inside you actually. But metaphorically speaking, it is the cosmos, it is the universe and everything that exists, all that exists, and thus it's the only thing that we have to look to take ourselves out of the hamster wheel matrix that we've been tricked into with our egos. Anyway, let's keep going.
There's a man in a court sworn to uphold the law, but he's crooked as a fence post and don't do his job. There's a man in a classroom who should know the facts, but he's brainwashing kids, teaching English and math. There's a man in your phone who hears everything you say. He knows everywhere you go, every joke you ever made. There's a man with a bloodline that owns the whole world. Every airplane and building and gold, brick, and pearl will be fine, babe.
So I like that gold, brick, and pearl. Yeah, the things that these people do for that money is crazy. Like another movie I recommend it's a comedy movie, one of my favorites. I love Jackie Chan, by the way. During the whole free Hong Kong thing and Jackie Chan being saying, "All right, I support the CCP, I want to join." Uh, at that time, I'm sure his hands are tied. I could really support that at the time, but as time's gone by, I'd love for him to come back and finish his story arc. Anyway, Jackie Chan's movie, The Armor of God 2. It's just one, even the Armor of God 1, which is, I think it's a poor movie. It's just so brutal, it's disgusting. But the second one's a bit more classily made. Um, the things that, as you said, gold attracting the scum, the things that people would do just to get their hands on the source of the wealth, the backing of real wealth in the world is quite crazy. So um, it's important to keep yourself pure whilst we're going through this right now. It's deep state that's trying to fight back against Elon and so on. Even people like David Icke, which I don't trust anymore, by the way. I just feel like his blackpilling is just useless. And his points are sounding a lot like the deep state. Oh, who elected Elon? What are we talking about? Anyway, with all this panicking going on, just be careful, guys. God bless you all out there. I hope you survive to see the golden age fully manifest by 2028. Before then, of course. Anyway.
If we don't make it through, there's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. He said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It won't help if you can fly. He's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money, they want power, don't want no one else allowed. We'll be fine, babe. I'll be the man for you. Pray that the man in the sky's watching over us tonight, 'cause there's people looking down on us for fighting for what's right. Hold the line, babe, and I'll hold on to you.
I love it.
There's a man in the
Comes down
clouds,
to
and I hope
romance.
he's looking down, 'cause there's people
Romance
here
is
on
right
earth
there.
who trying to put us in the ground.
Maybe
We'll be
too.
fine, babe. I won't let go of you. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It won't help if you can fly. He's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money, they want power, don't want no one else allowed. We'll be fine, babe. I'll be the man for you.
That's a jam. Nova, God bless you. You see the video to the end. Jenna, that's beautiful. Look at that goat there. The poor thing. I mean, he's gonna be dinner soon, ain't he? And he's gonna headbutt somebody just before that happens. That's beautiful. Yeah, man. Just wanted to say one last thing about him and his Tom MacDonald and his post about Beyonce getting the Grammy for the country album. And now I see why he was mentioning that. He's like, no, this is how you do a country song. And but that being said, I don't know. I'm sure some people in the country will say, man, it's not country. And Tom MacDonald, you ain't from this country. So go back to Canada. And then Tom MacDonald's like, haven't you heard? We're the 51st state. Anyway, it's a nice bit of country music. It reminds me a bit like Dax doing To Be a Man. I think Dax's song To Be a Man is more country sounding, but Tom MacDonald brought it back to the whole romantic gesture thing at the end with the lyrics and so on. That really tied it down. But it's funny Tom doing country. I think he realized that he might as well appeal to the country genre a bit more now, because the whole point of him doing rap and even the kind of rock sounding songs were to be like the voice of rebellion. But now he's being embraced by the not so much the rebellious crowd, but the patriot crowd that are in country music. And he's thinking, yeah, just find a nice little haven here. It's like him and Nova can retire. When I say retire almost from rap to do the country thing. I don't think it'll work. I think Tom MacDonald's tattoos and so on. What? Nah, you know what? I was gonna say makes him, just puts him right squarely in the rap market, but yeah, with people at Upchurch around, well, I don't know, Upchurch can get lost, but Upchurch, man, you shouldn't. I know he wanted to get his name circulating around there, but he should have just built bridges instead of burning them. So dumb. But anyway, we got people like people trying to monopolize the country artist space. He may find some stiff competition. He's already kind of made a lane for himself in the rap world, but whatever. Tom, it's about you, Nova, and us. We support you, and Adam Calhoun. Anyway, guys, thank you. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Come back later for the next video I do again with Dan. And yeah, keep your eye on the skies, man. Anyway, peace.